Hello, once again. Today I am in Holbrook, Arizona. This is in the high desert plateau. I think it's like actually considered part of the Colorado plateau of Arizona. Some people don't realize that I'd say fully a third of Arizona, the state, is high desert, and actually even Flagstaff, which I passed through yesterday. So right here now, I'm at 5,200 feet here in Holbrook. I'm here for the Painted Desert is here too. I always say that wrong. The Painted Desert is here as well, but the same here, and I might check that out too. We'll see how it goes at the Petrified Forest. But ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to see this Petrified Forest, and for some reason when I was in Arizona, and these are petrified trees here marking the sign. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to see this, and for some reason, the 3 years I lived in Arizona, Grand Canyon, went to the Meteor Crater, which is just a few miles away, but I never came here. I guess I never could convince anybody else to come. I'm not sure why, but I didn't do it. So today I am. This is December 27 of 2022, and I'm about to go into the Petrified Forest. This will be my 8th national park on this journey. I had a good visit yesterday. I spent had a what would you call it, a passing through strafing maneuver maybe over Phoenix yesterday. I was there for about 24 hours. I came in the day before yesterday, Christmas night evening, and then left yesterday evening. But I'm really glad I did it. I was able to meet up with my high school friend, Katina Hoffman, who is an Air Force veteran as well, but I knew her through high school, East Davidson High School, class of 91. And her husband is Joey, who is a really cool dude, and he is an Air Force pilot, retired. They were gracious enough to welcome me in for their Christmas party that day, and then yesterday I was able to get in contact with 2 old Air Force buddies of mine. One of them is a retiree, Ben Light, and thankfully he had nothing better to do than to take me on base. He has a retired ID, so he can get on base. And we got to go out and got to see the old 607th unit that we were all in. Ben was in it, and a number of other people, but that I'm still friends with to this day, at least Facebook friends. I hadn't seen Ben since 1995. Chatted with him some here and there. We've been Facebook friends for a while, but that was the first time I've really talked to him. One interesting thing from Ben is that he said that the 607th, he was 20 years in the Air Force, and he said the 607th was his best unit experience of his career, which is pretty cool. But I was part of that, and he's a good dude. We shared dorm suites together, and then speaking of, then the other good friend of that era was James Salter, and he was busy home shopping, but my surprise visit, I did surprise everybody, so I was really impressed that they were able to make time, and especially James. He was house shopping with his wife, and I think he had to put up a pretty good fight to get her to let him go see me. But I had actually met her. He had just started dating her when I left, and he ended up marrying her, and he's been married to her ever since. Donica, I think. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Yeah, so we all got together. Pretty brief visit. I mean, Ben and I took us to Luke. Ben took me to Luke Air Force Base, and we had a kind of a disappointing Whataburger experience, which was sad. So looking forward to it. Don't have Whataburgers in Tampa. It was cold. And speaking of, it was the Quality Inn in Holbrook, and I can't say that. I've stayed in a lot of Quality Inns. I was even just talking to them yesterday about how I think they're one of the better values, and I would still say they're probably one of the better values, but Probably should have stayed at the Hojo. I don't know if it's any better or not. This place is pretty small town, probably pretty economically desolate. People don't stay here much. There's a bunch of hotels here, but I think it's mostly just for people who are passing through and people who are. There's a cool little bulldog over there. I'm going for. I guess that's what that's for. Kind of a dog walking area. Yeah. So yeah, you saw that white top mountain over there. That's Arizona. White Cat Mountains. Arizona has that too. No beaches though. Which is probably why I'll never live here. But it is a cool place, and it is hot in Phoenix in the summertime. But you can make that drive up to Flagstaff, which I did last night. It's a beautiful drive. I didn't make it to Sedona. It's another one of those places I wanted to hit. I never hit when I lived here. Just the trip to Phoenix. And the time I spent in Big Bend basically killed that time, and I want to get back by Thursday night, Friday early, so I can have some time to decompress and recuperate from all this. Hopefully get my sinuses cleared up. They're still kind of a mess, but I think that's mostly just the dry, cold air that my Florida boy's not used to. But yeah, so yeah, you drive up from Phoenix. Phoenix is about 1,300 feet, and it's in a little valley. And you drive up to 7,000 feet. Flagstaff is right at 7,000 feet, and there's pine trees there. It's actually, I was reading the wiki last night. The particular kind of pine tree they have there, that is the biggest pine tree. That is the biggest forest of that pine tree. I don't remember what it's called, but of that kind of pine tree in the world. So that was really weird. You drive less than 2 hours, and your temperature drops from, it was like 74 in Phoenix, and I get there and it's 44. And then last night it dipped down into the freezing. It was probably well below the freezing in Flagstaff because I've actually dropped it, 1,800 feet from Flagstaff to here to Holbrook. But anyways, that's my so far today. Oh, there's also a route. I might go buzz it real quick, but from my lack of impressions from my Route 66 in Oklahoma and Texas. Nah. So we'll see if this is any different. All right. Stay tuned.